Welcome to Tabletop Battle Adventures, July 21st, 1861, 10:50 a.m. Turn 3, Part 4. We are fighting the Battle of First Manassas, Bull Run. For the details, the first video of this turn is the best place to turn. Colonel Burnside's 2nd Brigade of the 2nd Division, Army of Northeast Virginia, pushing south down the Manassas Sudley Road. My daughter will be commanding the Union forces. I will be commanding the Rebel forces. I've moved over 2 squadrons of 30th Virginia Cavalry and 1 gun from the 2nd section of Lynchburg Artillery over to Dogan Ridge. The other gun from this section is set up here. Colonel Evans, commanding 7th Brigade, 2 regiments of infantry, 30th Virginia Cavalry, and the 1 section of 2 guns that I already mentioned. The Yankees haven't been able to move on to Matthews Hill because I've got Captain Terry and 3 soldiers from the 30th Virginia Cavalry positioned here, and the Yankees haven't pushed me off yet. Although turn 4, next turn, 5 regiments of the 1st Brigade, 2nd Division, Porter's Brigade is arriving here on the Manassas Sudley Road, and also 2 regiments of cavalry. Also next turn, 1st Division, 3rd Brigade, Colonel Sherman, William T. Sherman's 3 of his 4 regiments are arriving from the corner of the battlefield to the road, Rock Road. And also 1 regiment of cavalry. The last infantry regiment of Sherman's brigade is holding position here on the other side of the bridge with Sherman's 6-gun battery commanded by Captain Ayres. It's the 3rd U.S. Artillery Battery E. Rebel forces here defending Stonebridge are just a few companies of the 4th South Carolina and a few companies of the 1st Louisiana Special Battalion, both commanded by a captain. There's also a 30th Virginia squadron here, commanded by the Sergeant Major, and another squadron here in these woods. Divided up my cavalry command to be in more places at once. And then the bulk of the 2 infantry regiments are here, 1st Louisiana, 4th South Carolina. And we'll get right into the action. It will be a Confederate dice. 1st Louisiana Special Battalion will receive their 2nd order dice. They have an advance order that has to stay in place until the start of turn 5, or the end of turn 4. They'll remove the advanced dice. They are digging in currently, fortifying like the 4th South Carolina already has done, and the number 12 gun for the Lynchburg Artillery has also already dug in. So half of this unit can fire their weapons. So there's 14 men with smoothbore muskets. So they'll have 7 shots. The other 7 men, like I mentioned, are unable to shoot because they have to retain that advance order and continue digging in, pulling wood from the forest, so forth, rocks to build fortifications. So they'll be harder to hit. And so then also the colonel is here, Colonel or Major Wheat. And he'll also have 2 shots. And they're going to go ahead and fire into the 1st Rhode Island's 2-man Company A sharpshooter duo here. And these sharpshooters just killed my sharpshooter. So we're going to pay him back. So this is going to be in close range, which will be a +1 to hit, firing with buck and ball ammunition. So instead of starting out on 3s, they'll be hitting on 2s. And then these soldiers are in skirmish formation and hard cover because of the woods and the fence. 2 soft covers make a hard cover. So it'll be on 3s, buck and ball 2s, hardcover 4s, skirmish formation 5s, but then flanking fire back to 4s. And for the two brown D6s, it will be 5s, and for the 7 white D6s, it will be hitting on 4s. Five hits. You take 1 stress marker, and bucking ball, when fired at the flank, or actually at close range, or on the flank, it inflicts D2 hits for every hit, up to D2 hits. So we'll roll those 4 hits and see. So there'll be 3, 4, 5 hits instead of 4. Flank bucking ball also increases +1 damage. So 5 hits. These will be killing on 4, 5s, and 6s, and wounding on 3s. 2 dead 1st Rhode Island sharpshooters. Revenge. Just remembered how to take an orders test. Should have done that before. It was an accident. So they do pass. They had 1 stress marker. 1st Louisiana is now unloaded. And the 2 snipers are dead. Actually, worse than losing to 2 soldiers, like when I lost my sharpshooter earlier in this turn, is that we both lost in order dice. So I would be definitely more. I'm thinking twice about creating a new sharpshooter, because I need to retain my order dice to be able to skirmish with Sherman's brigade that's coming from this direction next turn. 3 regiments, and I've only got 8 cavalrymen, 7 infantrymen, and then 6 more cavalry over here. So against Sherman plus 66 infantry. Not to mention still the other 2nd Wisconsin regiment that's here that can come across the bridge anytime my daughter orders it. So Lynchburg Artillery 2nd Section, gun number 11, 12-pound howitzer. They're going to receive their 2nd order dice. The corporal's going to receive a advance order. Well, actually, it's a I guess it should be. I have it written down as a fire order as a reload. By the way, I'm playing this as this is a brand new rule set that I'm playing this battle, and I wrote it over the last year and a half. Here's the rough draft. I wanted to create a American Civil War rule set that was as realistic as I could possibly make it. For example, when I reload this cannon, I have it written down as a fire order, but now I'm thinking it should be an advance order. So let's call it an advance order. It'll be a slow game, but it's going to... I love play testing new rule sets, especially this is the first rule set I've written in many years of battling on the tabletop. So with that advance order, they're now going to reload, and you have to choose ahead of time. Are you going to reload solid shot? Are you going to reload case shot, shrapnel? Are you going to reload canister? Or are you going to reload shell, explosive shell? In this case, I was firing 2 times in a row. I fired case shot to do the damage here to the 71st New York, you see. This time we're going to load shell, and I have to write that down. We'll go ahead and put the marker for reloaded. There we go. So they are reloaded but cannot fire until next turn. And I'll make a mark in my notebook for the number 11 gun, and it'll show that the shell is reloading. You see the 3 dots here. I'm reloading shell fire, and here's where I connect the dots once they're once the shell fire has been fired and we've used the ammo. This particular cannon started out with 3 shell rounds, 4 canister rounds, 3 solid shot, and 4 case shot. I like to keep track like this. It makes the battle more realistic. So they're going to be reloading with shell. My plan is to knock out this 12-pound howitzer from the 2nd Rhode Island battery, because once the 2nd New Hampshire next turn moves forward, even if they stay down and they advance at the crawl 3 inches, right now they're at 5.5 inches from the 12-pound howitzer, so this howitzer cannot fire. But once they edge forward next turn, they'll be able to lob up, hitting me on a 2 most likely up here on the hill. So I want to knock them out first if I can next turn with a shell. 30th Virginia Cavalry, Captain Terry is going to go on ambush. I got a plan. I'm holding my position here to keep the Yankees from deploying their 2 last cannons from the 2nd Rhode Island battery up here on Matthews Hill. So I'm going to hold my position until some of Sherman's boys come in from this direction, and we'll see what happens. Can't say it out loud because my daughter's listening. She commands the Union forces. But you can kind of get the idea of what's getting set up over here for Sherman's boys.
I hear you talking over there.
I don't have the toy for this particular model. So the 1st U.S. Artillery Battery G 30-pound Parrott rifle, nicknamed Long Tom, Commander Lieutenant Peter C. Haynes. They'll receive a fire order. They cannot see the target, so they'll be hitting on 7s. But my daughter's ordered me to target the center of my defenses on Buck Hill, so that her misses will be a 2d6 and a scatter dice to see where this shell fire is going to land. Shell round. Fire.
1st Louisiana will be blasted.
Okay, my daughter placed the blast target marker right here on my 1st Louisiana. General McLilly, do you want to roll for this 30-pound?
Oh yeah, you
rifle?
guys.
Fire. 2d6 and a scatter dice. You're blowing up my corn again. Hope you don't hit my animals. Poor Virginia corn. So in order to bring in accurate artillery fire, General McLilly would have to bring in her headquarters special unit, the captain signal officer, with his 2 wigwag signal form operators, which I have mine up here. Captain Porter Alexander, PGT Bureau Guards, Chief Signal Operator. Captain Alexander's up here. I have him hidden in the woods right now, but once I need to call in some artillery fire accurately, when you call it in with your signal officer, then you start out hitting on a 6, and each turn, if the target doesn't move, you hit them on a 5, and then the following turn a 4. But General McLilly can't bring in the signal officer because they need to be on a hill somewhere they can be seen, and they can also see targets. But right now I have this squadron of 30th Virginia Cavalry who are just hoping that an artillery piece comes in on the cabbage. 3rd U.S. Artillery Battery E, gun number 1, 12-pound Napoleon. General McLilly, are you sure you want to keep raining these rounds in, hitting on only 7s? You could wait. You might hit me, but most likely not. And if you keep using up all this shell ammunition, you may not have it when you need to battle my batteries, because the ammunition wagons don't arrive till turn 12. So you might want to save some of it, or are you just going to use shell like solid shot and bolt shots to defeat my cannons?
Solid and bolt.
So you want to keep firing at the risk of running out of shell ammo? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right. Number 1 gun, fire. Well, because you could wait 1 turn and then, or maybe 2, turn 5, you could have your signal operator right here, the signal officer, on top of Matthews Hill calling in accurate shell fire. What do you think? Fire?
Fire.
Same target?
Same disgusting rifle.
Fire. 2d6 and a scatter dice. Oh no, that might land on Colonel Evans. Oh no. That's on the other side. Oh, it might land on my brigade commander, or maybe worse, my special headquarters unit, my what is it? The engineer officer. Let's measure. Oh. Okay, do you agree that the 9 is over your target?
Yes.
Do you agree that the angle is right?
Yes.
I'm going to say it looks like it's going to land right in, like on this hill. What, do you agree or disagree?
I think right in the hill.
All right, well, let's put the... No, but I mean, it was really close, and I commend your honesty because some people might say it was hidden, but I don't think it did. I think it was right about here. I think I got incredibly lucky. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
All right. Fair play. Well, it did not hit me. However, there are a few good men here who need new underwear from having the pee-pee poo-poo pants from that close call. So the 30-pound parrot rifle that fired and hit the corn, they fired 3 out of 12 of their shell rounds. And then here's the 12-pound Napoleon gun number 1 that just fired, and they've used all 3 of their shell round ammunition. And they still have 3 case, 3 canister, 3 solid shot, but only the solid shot and the case will be of value if General McLilley continues to bombard my position next turn. 30th Virginia Cavalry, led by, is this a corporal? I think this is a Corporal Jesse. Actually, it's Sergeant Jesse. Far left horse. And they're going to receive an advance order. They're going to advance and dismount. So they will basically reposition their mounts where they can flee after Sherman's horde comes in from this side next turn. So we will advance, also probably taking our dead buddy's horse with us. And then we will advance, dismount, and then move into position to set up for an ambush. This is the view from the looking south down the rock road. I've now dismounted my 4 soldiers from the 30th Virginia. We've got the sergeant on the end. And we're going to be armed with 3 revolvers. Looks like 4 revolvers.
This is so fast in the middle of the wall.
3rd U.S. Artillery, Battery E, gun number 2, 12-pound Napoleon. Your orders?
Fire!
Fire. Same target?
Same disgusting rebels.
When you're ready. Go for it. That missed shell round destroyed 1 fence. And this gun, the number 2 Napoleon from the battery that just fired, they are also out of... They are also now after that shot, they are now out of shell ammunition. 1st Louisiana Special Battalion, Companies A and B. A, by the way, for every infantry regiment, Company A and cavalry regiment are sharpshooters when they're positioned in skirmish formation, but also have to be detached from the other soldiers. But in this case, I want to keep them united so that I can fire and fall back, and not too much division, and I won't be able to escape from Sherman's brigade. So now we'll have these soldiers here on ambush with their rifled muskets and the captain's revolver. Plus we have again Captain Terry, 30th Virginia Squadron, on ambush.
Dad,
What's going on?
my duck's sleeping in the living room.
What? Oh, it's Elma. Oh. 3rd U.S. Artillery, Battery E, gun number 4, 3-inch ordnance rifle. What are the orders, General McLilley?
Fire! Fired!
Same target?
Yeah.
Why? Can you tell me where I can understand you? What is your reasoning for firing on the same target over and over?
Because then, if I miss, if the scattered dice goes the direction toward the other flags, then I might hit someone.
Okay, so the concentration of, like the way you almost got the artillery limber, and then you also hit the corn here and the fence. So I see how your rounds are exploding right around the jackpot, that being my rebels. Okay,
So
when you're ready. Uh-oh. General McLilly, do you agree that I have this set on your target marker?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you agree that I have the angle correct?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna hit Colonel Sloan, Colonel of the 4th South Carolina. It's gonna hit 2 men from Company B and the banner bearer, but we'll get the marker out to make sure. Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
I guess it was a good strategy after all. I told her she should hold on to her ammo. I want to pinpoint the center. It looks like it's right in between those 4 men. I'm glad it didn't hit my chief engineer officer. He's critical. Or my colonel. Maybe hard to tell, but it's going to hit 4 for Colonel Sloan, commander of the 4th South Carolina, color bearer of the national colors, and the 2 Company B soldiers. This is a shell round too, very powerful. Probably dead on anything but a 1. The 3-inch ordnance rifle, and its shell is +4 penetration, so is dead on anything but a 1. And let's get over to the shell. 3-inch ordnance rifle, open soft cover, hard cover. D3 hits. Okay, so at least one of the men will survive. So D3 hits, and I'm in a fortification, so the fortification can also take damage. So I can destroy the fortification instead of the men, but then they won't have cover anymore. So first let's roll for D3 stress markers and D3 hits. The reason is I'm in hard cover. I'm actually in hard cover and entrenched, but we'll see how many. Let's roll for the stress markers and the hits first. D3 stress markers. Ooh, 3. Okay, next for hits. Oh, okay, good. So only 1 hit. That seems impossible. Must have exploded. So in that case, I will just... now it's just I'm dead on anything but a 1. Dead. Incredibly lucky. I'm just going to kill the 1 soldier that's laying. Guess it must have landed somewhere there. We're going to say it destroys the fence also. Oh, there's only 1. Yeah, let's destroy the fence. Fence went down too. So I guess just by chance, that 3-inch ordnance rifle has killed this 1 man this turn, last turn 2 men, and that's turn 2, and then turn 1 was 1 man, and each time it was on a 2d6 and a scatter dice roll. As we're able to, each unit is able to receive up to 2 order dice. That could even be a sharpshooter. But if you use up your order dice, and for example, last turn I had used up my order dice and I was unable to do anything with this squadron led by the Sergeant Major of the 30th Virginia Cavalry. So, nonetheless, I'm going to put this squadron here of 30th Virginia Cavalry on ambush. So now I'm ready for Sherman, just about. I've got the 1st Louisiana Special Battalion Company A and B with their captain on ambush. Rifled muskets. We've got our squadron of 30th Virginia Cavalry, 4 soldiers here. 1 has a carbine. Actually, we have to choose now. I'm going to have them all holding their pistols. 3 of the models have pistols in hand. 1 doesn't, but all 4 have pistols on ambush. And then Captain Terry, 30th Virginia Cavalry Squadron. Here, they're on ambush with 2 soldiers with shotguns in the front, my character with pistol, and then Captain Terry with sword, but we're going to have him with a pistol when it comes down to the charge. Ooh, we got the ambush set up, and we've got Colonel William T. Sherman, 3rd Brigade, 1st Division, Army of Northeast Virginia, showing up here with 3 regiments, the 13th New York, 69th New York, and 79th New York. Also Sherman himself. And they're able to advance on to the battlefield from the corner here to this rock road. And they marched from the bridge early in the fight and crossed Poplar Ford. That's down toward the camera here. We will not forget to order the Sergeant Major and his squadron of 30th Virginia Cavalry to advance and dismount in the forest, in the woods here. I've got another little trick up my sleeve for Sherman. However, this only leaves three companies of the 4th South Carolina, but with their captain, to defend against the 2nd Wisconsin that's 22 men strong right here on the other side of the bridge. So we're going to get our troops into those woods on an advance and dismount order. All right, the Sergeant Major is in a second defensive position here, dismounted. The brown D6s represent the capacity, how many shots can these soldiers take before they need to reload. Most of them are equipped with carbines, so they have 6 shots before they need to reload. 2 shots per turn is allowed for the carbines. Here's an example of the 4th South Carolina detachment, and they have a capacity of 1 because they're armed with, I think, rifled muskets, except for the officer. If he fires, he has 6 shots in his revolver before he has to reload. So you'll start noticing those. For the Yankees, they have green D6s that show that they're loaded and what their capacity is. And now these boys are set up in a good spot where, as the initial ambush forces of the 30th Virginia Cavalry here, and the 1st Louisiana here, as they ambush Sherman's 3 regiments, hopefully Sherman himself, and then we need to get the heck out of here after that. So they'll need to fall back, and as they fall back, we'll probably fall back here as well, and we'll have a second defensive line ready. I'm going to end it there for the day. A couple more. About 3 days from now, we'll get back to the action. There's still maybe a dozen order dice to assign. Epic fight already. Love learning games. Next time, there'll be a Yankee dice. Glad I took time to write my own rule set. Going for realism. Trying to bring that Ultimate Civil War General kind of game as close to real time as we can. The view from looking north on the Rock Hill Road. This is where Turn 5, Colonel B and General Bartow are coming with their brigades and another 4 artillery pieces from Imboden's battery. But first, we have to endure the Yankees' reinforcements next turn. Porter's brigade, 5 infantry regiments coming from the Manassas Sudley Road behind Burnside's brigade. 5 infantry regiments, 2 cavalry regiments, and from Rock Hill Road, Sherman's 3 regiments plus 1 on my flank. Any moment can come across Stone Bridge. We're gonna put some hurt on Sherman on his way in the game, though, or rather onto the battlefield. 3 days. Get back to the action.